viewers, welcome back to Daily Retro. Another pickups episode for you today. So we've been to Vintage Gamer recently. We went with the RetroBear or Russ. Not Saturday just gone, but Saturday before that, as you may or may not have seen in one of my recent videos. But as well as that, we've had some other sort of gaming related pickups, one of which is a retro pickup which I've been looking for a long time. But we're going to start off with what we got from Vintage Gamer. So this is the second time I've been to Vintage Gamer in Halesowen, just sort of southwest of Birmingham. And again, astounded by the amount of stock they've got, so I highly recommend that shop again. But yeah, we're going to kick off with what we got from there. So we've got quite a chunky pile. I think I'm always amazed by the prices in there, to be honest. Yes, I was trading in some stuff as well that I'd been given, but they gave me all this for 25 quid, and I appreciate they gave me a deal because I traded in some stuff as well. But yeah, once you see all of it, you think, does that add up to £25? In my mind, it was a lot more, but yeah. So, first one being Advance Wars Dark Conflict, and that's on the Nintendo DS. Came complete. It's about £15 worth if you look it up on CEX. But I actually listened to RetroBear's podcast with Pete on a retro tip, and saw he was absolutely obsessed with Advance Wars. And it was a really interesting podcast, so I'll link that in the description for you to go and see, or listen to even. But the Advance Wars franchise I've sort of been meaning to get into for a while. I've had the first GBA game sitting on my GBA stand for a while. I think I got it for a tenner from Leicester Retro Shop. And yeah, I've been really enjoying playing the GBA Advance Wars games. They're so addictive, honestly. So I had to pick up the DS, get one of the DS versions of that. And yeah, it was absolutely minty, and yeah, good price, so I thought I might as well. We'll get around to it eventually. And then, this is the only PS2 pickup, so that is Lord of the Rings Return of the King. And for those who don't know, Lord of the Rings Return of the King was the first sort of two-player campaign game you could play for Lord of the Rings on PS2. The Two Towers was just one player. And I remember playing this with my friends probably just before I went to secondary school, maybe even when I was in year 7 or 8. And yeah, I got really fond memories of this game, a real hack and slash sort of dungeon crawler, and obviously if you like the films then you're going to like the game. So yeah, I had to pick that up. Not an expensive game, but a really good co-op game, so if you're into your co-op games, especially retro co-op, then this is the game for you. And then before we get onto a big pile of PS3, we've got a Wii U pickup, and that is Toad Treasure Tracker. Me and my wife absolutely adored this game on the Switch, but as anyone knows who's played this game, it actually plays a lot better from what I've heard on the Wii U. So you've got you can sort of look around the map on the Wii U gamepad, and you're not sort of limited to one screen. It's kind of the similar situation where if you're using a laptop and you've got a screen outputted as well, so you've got two screens, you sort of play that way. Whereas having one screen, you're sort of limited into what you could look at. We did complete it on the Switch, and it was still really good fun. But as this was sort of only worth about £8, I thought, yeah, might as well. And yeah, really looking forward to playing through it again. Maybe even with the little one when he's eventually playing games, because it is a really child-friendly game. And then yeah, as I before mentioned, onto a pile of PS3 games. These are mostly games that I used to own, so I thought I'd pick them up again because I don't know why I sold them, to be honest. The first one being Grand Theft Auto 4. So Grand Theft Auto 4 was a surprisingly good game. It doesn't actually link in the story that much to sort of any of the other backstories. It's you just play a Russian mobster, I think it is. But the physics at the time, being the first PS3 GTA release, were just astounding for me back in the day. And I remember playing the hell out of this before GTA 5 came out, and then got GTA 5 on the release night from my local shop because I love this game so much. So I had to get it back in the collection. And then I'll probably go through the other two games that I used to have. So I've got Resistance, Fall of Man. Really good first person shooter. It's sort of like Alien mixed with Call of Duty, I would describe it as. It's got actually a really good story. So it's made by Insomniac, who you may or may not know make the Ratchet & Clank series, which is obviously a really good series. And absolutely minty inside and out. Again, all of these conditions from Vintage Gamer are always really good, so I highly recommend them for that. And then we've got the first Red Dead Redemption, which in my opinion actually has a better story than the second game. I've completed both. This was obviously completed quite a while ago. It was one of the first games I got for the PS3, and actually I enjoyed it more than the GTAs on the PS3, just because it was so different, and look forward to going back to that one. And then we've got a game that I didn't really know existed on the PS3 until recently, and that is Sega Rally. So Sega Rally was obviously an arcade game back in the day, and this one was sort of a HD remaster for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. As it's an arcade game, it's obviously going to be more fun to play it multiplayer. And did check, and it is local co-op or local versus. So I really look forward to playing that with the wife, because she's sort of more into her arcade style races. She generally does better than me on the arcade style races, because she's not sort of thinking about the physics as much as I am. So yeah, I really look forward to that. So that's the end of what we've got from Vintage Gamer, and then we've got a couple of other pickups. So we'll go through just an eBay pickup, which not a lot of people will have heard of this game. So that is Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, it's called. And this is hailed as being one of the best sort of short story co-op games ever made. You can pick it up for about £15 on the PS4, or there's a new release on the Switch which has a dedicated co-op mode. Was sort of thinking I'll get the Switch version, but then I saw it's about £40, and the only downside of this game is it's only about 3 or 4 hours in story, which is pitifully short, but it's meant to be a beautiful game. As you can see some of the screenshots in there. I'm not sure if the camera will pick those up, but yeah, you play as two brothers, and you control one brother with one analog stick and the other brother with another analog stick, so you sort of solve puzzles in that way through the game, and it's sort of a top-down sort of, I don't know what you call it, a sort of diagonal view onto the islands that the characters go through. And that was only about, as I say, about £14-15 on eBay. And I thought it was well worth the pickup. You probably can play it co-op even though this is just the one-player version. Just got to have one of your players holding one side of the controller and the other side holding the other. So it might be a bit tricky, but what the hell, it's going to be a fun experience nonetheless. And I'm not too bothered if I have to just play it myself, to be honest. And then lastly, so a guy called Sean, who runs Pompey Games Room, which is a big YouTube channel. I think he's got about 1,200 subs. He's won YouTube of the Month once or twice before, been nominated once or twice before, and he's been looking at my content and giving me lots of positive comments, which is really cool. So thank you for that. But he did actually ask me on one of my sort of Mega Drive related videos if I'm looking for anything on the Mega Drive at the moment. And I said, yeah, I've been looking for a game that I remember playing with my brother, and it was so hard when I was a child that I just sold it. Even though it was a good game, we just found it too hard when I was like a little kid, so we sold it to Blockbuster, it would have been back in the day. And that is Batman on the Mega Drive. I've seen this in quite a few places, but never with the manual for whatever reason. And then this one even had the tab on top, and it's just beautiful. And Sean at Pompey Games Room, he only wanted 17 quid including delivery, so I'm sure he's done me a good deal on that, because I've seen it go on eBay for quite a bit more than that. So thank you again for that, mate. And he was even kind enough to include these sort of Mega Drive inserts. So he saw my Mega Drive poster on the wall, which is the generic sort of what games are on the Mega Drive poster, which I've got on the wall already. But it's a double-sided poster, so on the other side, which you may have already seen in other videos, you've got an actual Sonic the Hedgehog to advertise the first Sonic the Hedgehog game. So I can then frame that if I want to, and probably will. And then similar to the sort of front of that poster, we've got a sort of Mega Drive 92 to 93 mini sort of leaflet booklet, and that has sort of quick descriptions of games in it. So that's just a really nostalgic little read. And yeah, it's really, really colourful, and yeah, might be something fun to give to my little one to see what he wants to play next when he gets to that age. But that's it for now, guys. So I'm going to Birmingham Gaming Market, that is absolutely confirmed now. That's on the Saturday the 11th of September. I've bought the early bird just because I'm only 40 minutes on the train from Cheltenham to Birmingham, and then it's not far a walk from Birmingham New Street. So if you are heading to Birmingham Gaming Market, let me know down in the comments, or send me a message on Instagram, that's at Daily Retro. Would love to meet up with some other retro gaming YouTubers. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon.